Introducing the 3-part options course with Hans Albrecht. Get access for free by scanning this QR code or clicking on the link in the description.
Welcome back. Hope you had a great week. So last week we discussed this channel, and you can see we pretty much held a channel and we were pretty much going sideways. All of last week, you can see that we went sideways. So this bar that we had was, you can call it a bearish engulfing, perfectly engulfed the previous bar. So if you are bearish, that's a good first step. Personally, if you can have a continuation below 6,000, if you can break and continue to 5,900, have a little bounce and then break that, then you can have some kind of a top. Otherwise, I still believe that we could continue to chop sideways to higher. That's still my bigger picture. You can see I have both the paths drawn out here. You can see bigger picture. I still expect that, and I've explained that the cues are lagging, as a result of which it is likely going to drag the whole market up, and we know this is the channel of QQQ that we've been observing, and we expect it to go into the 550s at least on QQQ. So that's the reason I still expect the market to continue pushing higher, or even if it digests and have very minor selling. And yeah, I did show you, if I go back to the chart of ES, 5,900 is my bear pivot. If you can break that, then we do have a short lower. And chart of IWM, we know went sideways. You can see here we broke out of it, and now we're struggling to stay above. So now 226 is the pivot. As long as it's above, this can still continue to highs. But if we break 226, then we're probably going to come back into 210, 200. So that's why this area is important. We need to get defended here to continue pushing up. Otherwise, you can see here, if I go to the chart of yields, this bounce was putting pressure on it. And yeah, I would say 4.49 is the line in the sand. If we break that, then it's very likely IWM is going to sell off because yields would likely be in a breakout. Otherwise, we could have yields coming back to test 4%, which could help IWM. And even the dollar, you can see here that this can be a B. We still could come down for a C wave, which could help equities and the market. So still, though we did have a little bit of bearishness last week, I'm not completely on the bear path yet, though. I mean, I've spoken many times how we're at the edge of the channel, we're on top of the channel, and the market just likely needs a trigger, but we need confirmation. Break 600, 590, and then we can talk. For now, we're just any dip is getting bought, so we need to see more in the market. So yeah, with that being said, I did talk about how I think NVIDIA is going all-time highs. I still stand by that. You can see here last week we couldn't get over the high, as a result of which we came back down to test support. So you can see this is our sideways channel. As long as 130 holds this picture, I still think we're in a wave 4 and a wave 3. I don't think the wave 3 is done yet in a wave 4. So again, I zoom out. You can see this is the channel of NVIDIA. So this could be the first sideways break. I'll say that worst case, it can come down to retest 115 before it makes a new high, but I don't think so. That means we would be in a wave 4, and the rest of the market would have to be in a wave 4, which is why I think this consolidation likely breaks out. We make a high before we have a bigger sell-off on NVIDIA. So I'm still bullish on NVIDIA. I still think as long as we hold 130, we're likely headed up. And BIDU, again, I did talk about BABA last week, how any bounce is going to get rejected. You can see here we had that stimulus bounce hope news, and then they're kind of going back on it. So yeah, this is very news-based kind of stocks. So yeah, I mean, we can play level to level as long as, for me, I'm still expecting an ABC or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on BIDU here. We could go up to fill the gap, but as long as we reject and break 90, I still expect us to come back down to like 87 and 85 on BIDU. So I'm still bearish on China. I think any bounce gets rejected unless there is strong fundamental news. And I've discussed Microsoft also before, and you can see we had a beautiful breakout. So I could see a little bit of selling. Maybe we could come down into the support level at 441, 440. But for me, we need to, again, this is my fib zone that's important. So comebacks get supported, break 445, 446. And next we should be able to push into 465, 467. It's also headed to all-time highs. So a little bit of digestion is not a big deal on Microsoft. And last but not the least, I have CAT. Again, this is looking like an ABC. I think below 380, you can see here, we have a support level. Below this, I think we very easily come down into 368. So a small intraday short could be possible on CAT if we break the support. And on the weekly also, this had a super bearish, like this is a bearish reversal with the follow through. So it is on support, it can bounce, but if it breaks 380, we're very likely headed down into the 350s on CAT. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Join Chase to trade with Rithika and other experts. Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.